to share a few of the things that God has done in my own life personally. And here's a few examples of how being close to God and getting to know Him has just really helped me in, I guess, what you could say, just ordinary, everyday stuff, which He wants to be a part of just as much as the big stuff. Alright, so, ever since I was little, Mom and Dad, they taught me how to connect with God, how to talk with Him, and how to listen for what He has to say to me. And basically, it feels like when He does talk, it feels like I've never heard Him with my ears, although that happens too, and it's really cool. But it sometimes feels like a thought or a feeling, and it's hard to explain, but once you feel it, it's easy to tell it's Him. And every day, Mom would lead us in just quieting down, putting on some music, and just trying to listen to see what God has for us. And sometimes it was incredible, and I would get all these things, and we would just have fun together. And sometimes I wouldn't really hear anything, but either way it was okay, because I knew that He was with me and that I was opening myself up for Him. And as I got older, and I was doing this so much, I got to know Him like you do with a friend. If you spend lots of time with them, you get to know what they're like. And another thing He's helped me with is just in making decisions about life and leading me the right way to go. And I have a few stories about that. So, let me see. So, one of the first examples I can think of is with Him doing it in my life. Oh, before that, I'm going to say what it feels like. So basically, sometimes when I'm making decisions, I get feelings from Him in which way to go. So if I feel like He's saying no about something, then I have this little bit of an uncomfortable feeling when I think about the certain thing. And when He wants me to say yes about something and He's leading me towards that, I just feel this peace whenever I think about it. And I'm like, oh, yep, that's you, God. Okay, let's do this. So my first example is, I love musical theater, which I hear sports is more the thing up here, but basically musical theater, it's like any sort of theater. You audition, which is you perform something for the people who are choosing if you're going to be in the show. And if they like it, they give you a call and say you're in, and if not, you're not in it. But anyway, so there's this theater group in the town we used to live in, and they were doing The Wizard of Oz. And I was planning on auditioning, and Casey was too. But then, for some reason, I had this feeling not to, which was really weird, because I was all set to do it, and I wouldn't have come up with that naturally, but it just was one of those gut feelings, and I was like, okay, I'll listen to it. So I didn't audition. And for a while, I didn't know why God told me that. But then, it turned out that I got the opportunity to act in a commercial. And I was really excited about that. And it turns out that they filmed that on the same day as Wizard of Oz would have been performing. And that was a way bigger and cooler thing than if I had done Wizard of Oz. And so I feel like that was God leading me in that decision, because I wouldn't have made that decision by myself, and I didn't know that the commercial was coming. I didn't know I was going to do that, but God did, and He helped me out in that decision. Let me just find my note here. So my first point is, sometimes when God leads you away from something, it's because He has something way better for you. Okay, so my second one is I was performing with this other group, and I was loving the shows I was doing with them, wonderful group, and I was excited to do the next show. Again, I had a feeling that during the show I was in at that time, I wasn't going to be doing the next one. And there was no reason in my head for me to think that, but I was like, I'm kind of disappointed, but okay, if that's how it is. But then I decided to try for it anyway, because I thought, what could it hurt? Turned out I didn't get in. So that was fine. There were other things I could do. There weren't any big consequences in that situation, but it helped me to know in advance that I wouldn't get to, because the disappointment was a little less. I think the reason God told me was He was preparing me for that. So my second point is sometimes God leads you away from something or gives you a warning about something to prepare you so you can expect it. And I'm someone who definitely needs to know what's coming in a way, otherwise I get a little phased. Okay, my last story. It sounds like a small thing, which it is, but I think it really shows how God wants to be involved in your everyday and He cares about you. So we went back to, recently we moved to Toronto, we went back to the little town where we were from for some reason, and I had to pick up something in the grocery store. I think it was like ice cream or something. I don't know why. Anyway, Mom sent me in, and I was looking around for it, and I found what I was looking for. But for some reason, I had this feeling like I should keep going further into the store. And I was like, okay, maybe there's better price or something, I don't know. So I kept looking, and then a few aisles down, my friend Katie was there, and I hadn't seen her in a while. And it was just wonderful to see her again. And I didn't know she was there. She didn't know I was there. Yeah, but it was great to see her. And so, third reason God leads us, I want to bring up. Sometimes God leads you towards something just for fun. I don't know if there was any big reason I had to see Katie that day. I don't know what's going on in her life, but I do know that it was just a wonderful moment of reconnection. And I think God cares about that. And He cares about our everyday and making our lives better, because we're His kids and His friends. Yeah. So to wrap it all up, some of the reasons I've found in my own experience that God leads is sometimes He leads you away from the wrong thing, prepares you for the hard thing, and leads you to the right thing. And He wants to be a part of your life in all the situations and little things. And yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
Oh, it's free indeed. I'm a child yes I am. I am chosen, not forsaken. I am who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. I am chosen.